Hello children, today's commentary is going to be about the split between normies and internet communities. Oftentimes in the gaming world we see things that we don't agree with, and we oftentimes get a little carried away in how frustrated we are about these things. A big one in gaming is microtransactions. Microtransactions are the bane of gaming in a lot of people's opinions. Now, I don't think they're all poorly implemented or game ruining. I think most of them are honestly harmless little impulse buys you can do. A good example is Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 has microtransactions, which are basically just 49-cent little weapons you can buy. They're not that good, they're not horrible, you can just buy them and use them if you feel like it. It's not pay to win, they're not upgradable, but they're 49 cents. I can't name many things in this world that are 49 cents. Should they have just been included in the game? Probably. But again, 49 cents and you can just get a new weapon, or don't. There are tons of weapons in the game, you're not gonna feel left out without it. In fact, that's how I wish most shooters would deal with its DLC content when it comes to like adding weapons and post-launch gear. Like when Call of Duty adds weapons, instead of me having to do really long, tedious challenges or hope to get them in a supply drop, or save up an insane amount of in-game currency, I think it'd be kinda cool if I could just buy them for 50 cents. I mean, I'm sure the weapons take more than 50 cents to make, but at the same time, you could have just included them in the game, and I already paid full price for your game, so don't push it, is usually what our mentality is. Usually we get frustrated with these types of things when it pushes the envelope. I don't think you think, the person watching this, thinks that buying a camouflage in a Call of Duty game or any sort of shooter, or spending $5 for more cars in Forza or something like that, I don't think anybody thinks that's ruining gaming. It's when the envelope is pushed, it's penny and diming you, it's directly tied into the progression or post-launch content, that you start to feel a little bit cheated. I personally have bigger problems with main DLCs, like, big season passes, compared to the penny and dime impulse buys that come around later. And the biggest problem with microtransactions is when they're too expensive. A great example of that is all the microtransactions in Ghost Recon Wildlands are insanely expensive for what you get. If they had 49-cent weapons, I might have grabbed a couple of them, but they're not 49 cents. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But last year, 2017, Activision made over $4 billion just from microtransactions. But everywhere you look, you see people hating microtransactions, despising them, ranting about them, making whole videos about them. Some people have channels that every other video is just complaining about microtransactions and DLC prices. It is such a big deal to people. How is it making $4 billion? Now, this isn't to be rude or condescending, and I'm not trying to be an edgelord. I literally have no other word that can describe this the way this word can. So, normies. It's what it is. The reason Activision can make $4 billion off of supply drops and loot crates and their mobile games and their free-to-play stuff, the reason they can make $4 billion, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Again, that's not adding up with game sales and season pass sales, that's only micro DLC. That's not season passes, that's not copies of Call of Duty and Overwatch being sold, that is all in-game microtransactions. When we share ideals, when we share passion, when we share our wants, hopes, and dreams, and our hobbies, we usually try to find people that share the same ones, and want to share them with us. We hang out with people that like the same things. That's why I make most of my friends online, because I couldn't go make friends that are probably into what I'm into in other places in real life, like the rec center, or a bar, or a Borders bookstore. I'm not gonna meet someone the same way that if I met them in Rainbow Six, or Call of Duty, or just playing on Xbox. They probably have a lot more in common with me if they're on Xbox than anywhere else. That's why my girlfriend is like my best friend. I met her and we played Call of Duty and Halo, occasionally Battlefield. We played Minecraft together, and we ended up enjoying the same kind of shows, music, movies, the same kind of stuff, same fictional characters, the same tastes in a lot of things. So when you want to find people like you, you look where you are. That's why super hyper extremist conservatives hang out with other hyper extremist conservatives. Same thing with hyper extremist liberals. They hang out with each other and they work to perpetuate stereotypes about the other side. They work together and they kind of become a hive mind. It's hard to avoid because obviously you're not going to go out of your way to hang out with someone you don't agree with. Of course not. You might hang out with someone that has everything in common but one thing, because I'm not going to say that friends agree on everything or people in the same community agree on everything. Hell no. Most people we know in our lives we have disagreements with, and that's fine. But a lot of the people we hang out with in our social spaces are going to be people that have our same interests, ideals, hopes, dreams, passions, hobbies, you understand? This is inevitable and it's also a problem. How does this tie into $4 billion in microtransactions? The reason that number is so startling to people is because, again, all around you, you see people just hating the hell out of these things, despising them. How are they still making all this money? Everybody knows they're garbage. Well, no, not everyone knows they're garbage. For every person you see on Reddit, there are 15 people that don't give a shit about Reddit. It's something I've told to a lot of people. For every person you know that watches my channel or channels that are like mine, there are 15 other people that would never watch a channel like mine, never watch my channel specifically, because they have no interest. It's not a part of their life. It's not a part of their culture. It's not a part of their clique. It's when we forget that we start to have this what the fuck is wrong with people mentality. You look around, what's wrong with those people? What's wrong with those people? What's wrong with that community? What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with those types of YouTubers? What's wrong with my neighbors? What's wrong with my classmates? What's wrong with the fuckers that work in the deli section at my Walmart? I don't know. We start to have that mentality because we get so wrapped up in seeing what we want to see, hearing what we want to hear, and hanging out with people that want to see and hear the same things. Whenever I picture people playing on Xbox, I picture them playing on fast response time gaming monitors with good headset, a good working controller, a wired Ethernet connection, and they're trying their ass off. Or at least sitting up and concentrating. And then I have to realize for every one person that does that, there's like 10 people that don't give a shit. There's 10 people or more for every one person that just doesn't care. They play in their living room with their siblings running around yelling. They play in the living room and they drink beer and talk to their friends and they barely are concentrating. Some people watch TV while they game. I used to do that with YouTube. I used to watch Game Grumps and play Call of Duty and grind for camos in hardcore mode, but that's not important. Even then, I was like leaning forward and had the headset on and had my gaming monitor set up and, you know, whatever. What I'm saying is, and I guess this is just kind of what I have been saying, but there are normies out there that don't give a shit about shit. Okay? Most people in your town don't know who the mayor is. These people aren't stupid or worthless. I'm not even gonna pretend to say that. That's horrible. But they're less interested in what's going on around them. They're less interested in community. They're less interested in fact. They live their lives, they do their things, they swing their dicks around. They don't really care, and that's okay. But it also kind of hurts people that do care. One of my big things I advocate for is the rights of casual gamers. It's as cringy as it sounds, trust me. But I don't think every game needs to get harder and flop its meta on its head and freak everybody out. I don't think Call of Duty needs to be a hardcore tactical military simulator or just extremely hard and strict meta. I don't think so, because there needs to be games out there that are more casual, more laid back, more intuitive. As virtue signaling as this sounds, I don't know who I'm signaling virtue to because the people I'm talking about don't watch videos like this, but I give a shit about Joe Sixpack coming home from work and just wanting to play Call of Duty. As much as it's frustrating when he can't aim worth a shit, he's not concentrating and enemies are sneaking up behind him every hour of the match, but whatever, what are you gonna do? Every hour? Can you imagine a Call of Duty match that went on for 10 hours? I can't do anything for 10 hours. That's every hour of the COD match. Oh god, kill me. So what I'm saying is most people don't care what microtransactions open the gate to. Most people don't care about how they're implemented and whether or not it's a good purchase for them. Most people just think, oh, this is a game I like, it has a thing I can buy, I have the money for it, whatever. Some people, I've heard them complain about microtransactions, and it's always like, oh, they keep trying to get me to buy this stuff, it's terrible, I don't have the money yet. And I'm like, yet? And like, yeah, I gotta wait for my next allowance or my next paycheck. And I'm like, yeah, okay, see, there's the problem. So when you look around your community and the people that are all in on the same jokes, they play the same things, they listen to the same things, you know, they all watch the iDubbbz and the H3H3, they play this number of FPS games, and they like tacos, and they act like this, and they listen to this kind of music, and they're all in on this meme, they know this joke, and they all use the same social media. You can start to get into this mentality of what the fuck is wrong with people, and that mentality is well deserved in a lot of cases. You start to look over across the aisle and you go, hey, what the fuck are you doing? But of course this leads to the problem where people get into gatekeeping and elitism, and they try so hard to identify with a group that they kind of lose sight on what it is to, I don't know, be a decent person. I can relate to that because when I was younger, that's exactly how I was. Yeah, I'm 20 now, I get to say that. So if you're wondering why Activision can make $4 billion off of microtransactions, it's not because idiots exist. It's because people that don't give a shit about the industry, that just play games in the evening, have a couple dollars to spend. And as much as I advocate for their rights, it is a little sad. I say their rights as if their rights are being infringed upon. No, I just mean their right to do their own thing without getting made fun of all hours of the day. You know, I'm not better than Joe Sixpack that doesn't understand the industry, doesn't give a shit about communities, doesn't give a shit about memes or inside jokes or things that make communities communities. That's fine. He still has the ability to play the game and enjoy himself in the evening. Or I don't know, just fail every gunfight in any game and lose a lot and get mad and beat his wife. So anyway, that's it for this video. I don't know what I'm trying to say to people. I don't know. I recently came to this understanding a couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, where I was just like, holy shit, there is a big portion of the population on this planet that does not give a shit. They're out of the loop. They do not care. They're ambivalent. They go about their day not giving a damn about what's going on around them. They don't know who the mayor is in their town. Okay, they don't know. They don't know what's going on in their communities, whether it's, again, like in their town, like around them, or in the communities around their favorite video games. They don't care about the memes surrounding The Walking Dead. They just watch it in the evening if they have time to. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're ambivalent. Maybe they care more about pussy and drugs than they do about Rainbow Six Siege memes. I can't relate to that right now. Maybe when I'm older and more mature, I'll be more interested in pussy. I sound like such a nerd. Alright, so anyway, that's gonna wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think. How can we fix this? How can we get the message out to the normies? I was thinking a documentary, like a straight to Netflix documentary that would reach a lot of people, that could be about gaming and communities and the industry and how things hurt it and build it up and what's great and bad about it. Maybe that would do it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you stayed till this point in the video, say, I'm really bad at this. Say heartless. Leave the words heartless in the comment that you leave so I know you got to this point. I'm looking at my plush Heartless from Kingdom Hearts on my desk, and yeah, I'm not very good. Anyway, I'll see you when I see you guys. Goodbye.